This is the dressing room with Arabiya news. Coley, what have you got on today?
Why you sit on a pillow?
Listen,
Who's to see?
oh my God, you gotta understand.
I can
I
straight.
can't see it right now, but Joe is sat on a big pillow.
Big pillow. It's got- like the producer came in with the booster seat for him.
You know what? I get a lot of stick, mate. Do you know, I get it all the time.
It's quite small though, isn't it?
No.
look massive now.
National average, Coley.
Don't give me that. I'm not having that.
No, national average.
is it?
5'9", yeah. 5'9".
Don't try and put. You're not 5'9".
I've checked it out. 5'9", but I get it all the
Definitely
time. Maybe I have shrunk. Because when I'm on TNT, they put me next to Crouchy, right? And where you stand,
Yeah.
like, they make me look worse. I'm sort of like, I look tiny. So every amount of people come up to me and go, you're taller than you look. I'm like, I know. Standing next to a giant.
I've got a wicked picture of me, you, Crouchy, and Jules Breach, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it looked like like Crouchy was first, then it was me because I'm shorter than him, then it was you because you're shorter than me, then it was Jules and she's the shortest. Yeah? And it looked like a reception barcode or something like that. You know, like reception on your phone and you see the bars going up.
Yeah.
Just looked like that. The network, we were receiving like high network. Full bars we had.
Oh, mate, that's brilliant.
But yeah, it was good. I'll have to put that picture up. I'll have to put that picture up.
Put it up. Well, right. Thanks for that, Bridgie. Just started, like, what-
Yeah, I know. It's kind of killed you straight away.
I sort of know what you. I got a phone call from you at 12 at night. Just I thought, what's he want? But a video call. A
Video call.
He
He does
answered for once.
I answered. No, because you're thinking something's wrong.
Yeah.
Right. He's there. It's like an episode of Blue Peter. He's cutting something out. He's going, Keys, look, and he's showing me his cupboards. He's putting wallpaper up in behind this thing, and he's going, what do you think? Like, and I'm just like, why are you bothering me at this time? When
At this time of night.
he's showing me Frankie. She's going, all right. She's like that, and I'm.
Oh, do you know what happened? I went out with Dad for a few beers, and basically it was about 4 o'clock, and Frank had started doing a DIY project. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "Well, I've seen this thing on TikTok, and we got these shelving things. She wanted like a back. She wanted like wallpaper at the back of it, as a bit of a feature." And I'm thinking like, that ain't gonna last 5 minutes. And then on the way back from the pub, we only went out for a few hours, had a few, and I got there and everything was just a mess. And I thought, I'll have a go. And then I was there to actually 2 a.m. in the morning finishing it off.
I'm glad you
But
did.
like once I start something, I've got to finish it.
So-
But I remember calling you. You don't really usually answer, do you? Sometimes you do.
Do you know what, yeah? He just tried his luck to see if I could get Coley on the blower. Look what I'm doing, Coley, and he answered.
It actually looks all right. I'll have to send you a finished
It do-
article.
yeah,
They don't look bad, to be fair.
Yeah, that was good. Anything else you've been up to? this
Kids
weekend?
football.
Yeah.
Kids football, yeah. My Parker who plays on pitch on a Saturday. He missed the penalty, actually.
Did
Yeah, and I was distraught, mate.
Were their games called?
Only one of them because they played on Astro, and it was like 10:30.
Heated
and most
pitches
of them
in
called
Surrey.
off.
Heated pictures of Surrey, yeah?
It was Astro though, so once about it was
Oh,
half 10. It
okay.
had fallen out a little bit, but like he played really well. To be fair, the whole team did.
Yeah.
You know, worked really hard, played some great football. And near the end of the game, he got a penalty, and he was taking it straight away. I was like, oh no,
Really?
please don't miss it, because I'd probably say he's the more emotional one out of the two that play football. And he missed, but it was afterwards, Matt, on the way home. Where he usually has all his not all the team, but a few. There's about 6 of them, and they were just having banter as kids do. And then out of nowhere, mate, all I heard was, "Well, I'd rather miss a penalty 5-0 up than give a penalty away against Tottenham in a cup final." Mate, it's brutal. I ain't even said anything, mate. And he was just like, "So?" I was just like, "Oh my!"
You are
mate.
getting bullied in your own
I think
establishment.
he was just giving me stick to take it away from him. I think his mates must have been giving him a bit of stick.
You know what? That's
brutal.
I like that about him, though.
Well, I
How often
don't.
do you see that in football? Though, do you know, like when you come in at half time and you see them players that have made a mistake, and say the fullbacks and then the crosses come in.
Yeah,
they come in on the front foot.
Yeah.
Where was you? Shut up, mate. You do your job.
What are you coming for me for?
That's usual in football.
Yeah.
What are you coming for me for?
Oh, it's
I used to
brutal,
get that
though.
quite a lot.
What about you? Did you get up to much?
Me.
Apart from speaking to me.
Getting phone calls at midnight about DIY. What have I done? Carly was away skiing in Morzine, so I had the kids, and both games got called off. So I bought a cricket bat. My little boy loves cricket, so I went to a shop in Clapham. No clue. I'm standing there, the geezer must have looked at me like I'm looking, and he's like, "There's sizes to it." Did you know? Like you have to knock a bat in. You heard about this?
Yeah, when you get to a certain level, my kids play a bit of cricket.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like you have to harden it. They put it in this machine, and it so like it don't snap when it breaks. And there's certain bats mate, they just look like a lump.
It's
of wood.
crazy what you need for it. It's expensive as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, but
He picked up. I let him go and have a choice of bats.
yeah.
And then the guy went, well, they're the most expensive ones. I went, how much? But nah, pick a different bat, mate. It's going to last you about a year.
Just a bat. But do you know what it is like, mate? I went to the Lord's cricket ground. I went to watch England. I think it was Australia.
I think you sent me a picture this day.
I was like floating about with John Major in the box.
That is a.
Carlton and John Major.
Me and John Major, bro. We'll get that picture up, yeah?
Please get the picture up.
Like, I looked the part.
Yeah.
I was trying to watch the game, but John Major was in my ear all the night.
Didn't you have a friendship?
Yeah, we had a little. Yeah. We've talked about the future.
Yeah.
It's not materialised. I said, I'll get your number afterwards, yeah? He was off, mate, before I could even get it. He says, no, I don't want to be a Cole. It's not my type.
Imagine
It's not my type of friend.
Carlton Cole and John Major.
Yeah, that was I wanted the friendship to blossom, actually.
Yeah.
But it didn't actually materialise. But I did learn a few things at the cricket.
Yeah.
It was quite good.
Enjoyed it?
I was taken down there by a few of my mates.
Yeah.
And we had a good time. Richard Thompson was there, and he's got his box because he's like the chairman.
Okay.
And he actually looked at me and thought, I think Coley would like a piece of this. And I just didn't even
You
know
like a
what
bit of
was going on.
hospitality, didn't you?
I like hospitality. That's what I liked.
I've never been to a cricket match, but my mates.
Hospitality is unbelievable.
Yeah, I
They say
want
it's
to
a
go in the
great
summer.
day out.
It is a
I'm
great
like-
day out.
Yeah.
I think to myself, if they're saying that, it's a great day out because they're going there just to drink.
Just
Yeah.
the
I'm like,
But the
you can
food's
do
good
that
as well.
anyway. They go,
No, the food's good as well because they got like
they ain't mine.
they got like oyster bars.
Yeah, but my lot ain't getting hospital.
different
My
stuff
lot
you
ain't
don't
eating oyster bars. Mate.
but there's different type of food there. Like,
Brentford. Why are you talking about oyster bars?
listen, man, I don't forget my roots.
Oyster
I enjoy the niceties. Was it the niceties? The niceties of life. You know what I mean? So, listen, for me, I look at it and I think, do you know what? Like, you got to experience these type of things.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't been to the rugby yet. I've never been to a rugby match.
They're good. They're good. I love
I've never
rugby.
been to a
Rugby's
rugby
good
match.
game to
I like
watch.
that.
Yeah.
I
Have you
like
been to a
cricket though? We should do cricket.
The
could
cricket,
be a
we do a
little-
cricket.
yeah.
Could you get to dress up a little bit? You know what I mean? You know I like dressing up.
Yeah, you are smooth. You are smooth. Well, listen, it was the FA Cup this weekend. What a round of games.
Yeah.
And we got to start off with yesterday's game, Arsenal versus Manchester United. I mean, this traditionally in the 90s and the early 90s was the game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was a good, proper FA Cup game.
It was.
What did you reckon?
For me, something about Arsenal in that white kit that's just not doing it. I think they've got a record every time I think it's the last 4 years, because actually the kit is for a good cause.
Yeah.
It's
What
to
is it?
prevent knife crime.
Right, yeah.
So it's
True.
like no,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
obviously Arsenal are red, so representing
yeah.
blood,
Yeah.
knife crime and that, and I think it's done by Idris Elba.
Right,
actually.
okay.
And I do my stuff for charity on the side as well, but
Yeah.
he's doing this is a great cause. So every year they've worn that kit, they haven't won. It's just bizarre how every time they put on that white kit, they haven't won. So it's quite
It didn't look right, did it? Like it was a great cause, but like I know what you're saying. Like
yeah. It just doesn't look right
red
for
or
Arsenal.
yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out for them anyway. Again,
Yeah.
in that kit, and I thought the game alone, they should have won.
yeah.
They should have won, but they just didn't. They couldn't finish their chances. And this is going to boil down to what do they need again?
Centre forward.
Centre forward. Especially now, Gabriel Jesus is out. Havertz, if he hits a lull, they ain't got no one to put the ball in the back of the net.
I think I read it yesterday, or someone might have told me. Since 2019, they've signed 17 defenders
Wow.
and only 6 attackers.
Yeah. Well, that's
Seriously?
Yeah. And that's not even centre forwards, attacking players.
So
that's
why
Arteta.
is
That's
that?
Arteta's reign. 19 20 when he come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
He's always
incredible, isn't it?
I think with him, he's always makeshifting. Like he's using someone that's actually like Havertz. He's come in. I thought he was going to be probably a direct replacement, not fully on, but something to subsidise the fact that Xhaka had left.
Yeah.
Xhaka was a very important
Yeah.
cog in that wheel. Now, I didn't know he was going straight up front as a number 9, but fair play to him. He filled in the role quite well for when he first came.
He's done well.
Do you know what I mean? He's done really well.
I've never really thought he's that player that can play up there who's going to win you games. I think he's a nice player. He looks good. He can do, but he ain't someone that I would look at. And obviously, I haven't seen him loads. What I've seen, I think, yeah, he's tidy, but he ain't got that. He ain't going to go and win you.
I think he's a number 10,
I
Bridget.
mean, he ain't like.
I think he's like a number
like
10.
A proper centre forward, is he? He's a tidy player. He ain't. I wouldn't say he's ruthless.
No, he's not. He's not ruthless. That's a good way of putting it.
It's not.
He's beautiful.
It's not like a Haaland where
well,
Haaland misses his fair
you
chances as well. But I look at Haaland and I look at Havertz. Who are you going to be more fearful of? Haaland.
All day long, mate.
So, and if you're serious about winning the title, you've got to set fear in these defenders' hearts, because you look at it, you think, do you know what?
Yeah.
I look at Arsenal, I think, they look nice and tidy building wise, but who's going to put the ball in the back of the net? Can't just rely on Saka, that's obviously now out for like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Then he has to cut inside. Do you know what as well? I've got to say about being a striker nowadays, and that's why you don't see, we're a dying breed.
Yeah.
Most of the wingers nowadays, they want to cut inside. So the strikers don't even get across from the outside. So remember back in the day, Bridget, you'd always go on the outside and whip it in, and then the striker will come in and knock it in. There's not enough of that no more. So that's why the striker role, that's why everyone does the false 9.
Yeah.
And they all come to feet and they
Everything's cut back,
everything's cut back. And it's
overloads in outside areas.
And I just think there's still room for that old school fashion kind of get on the outside and whip it in and get it on your head.
I was saying to you earlier, wasn't I, when I watched the Man City game, the guy playing on the wing.
Sylvain.
And it was like watching a game back in the day. He was getting the ball and just getting straight to the fullback.
Yeah.
You know, drop a shoulder, get round, get it in the box. I don't see loads of that anymore.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Whenever I've watched, I've never seen much of it.
From a defensive, I think you're right, Colin. From a defensive perspective, right? So old fashioned, I'm thinking you would have played against Aaron Lennon, Sean Wright Phillips a lot. Them wingers were really lightning, and you know where they're going. They're looking at that byline to get it past you. Like, how hard is it early on in the game? Did you have a little tester? If you was playing against the winger and he's tried to drop his shoulder and beat it, and because when I was a winger and I was playing against a fullback, the first time I tried to dribble him, that was always set the tone for the game. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did fullbacks think that? Did you think, he's quick, or?
I always knew I was in for a tough game. Aaron Lennon, Sean Wright Phillips, players like that.
Yeah.
And that is where it's just saying mentally switched on. You can't switch off. You've just got to, when it looks like they're going to get the ball, you've got to try and get close.
Yeah.
And then if you can't, you've got to be careful. Don't get to them too quick. But for me, it was always trying to read the game, figuring out, right, it's going to go. I need to get on them straight away. So you're on their first touch. If you weren't, it's danger, because they're getting at you, don't know which way they're going to go, drop the shoulder, and they're so quick over the first few yards. For me, it was just reading the game and getting on the first touch.
Did you see the tackle for the sending off from Manchester United? Really, he left it out of his feet, didn't he?
Oh, I know people said it's a blatant.
Yeah.
I'm
You're not
a
sure?
bit like that, to be honest. I know football's changed a lot. I'm like, I don't think it's that bad. He's not gone in with studs, I don't think.
Yeah.
He's gone in with the front of his foot.
Yeah.
And those type of tackles, I know you've got to guarantee you're going to get there, but I liken it to Sean and Aaron.
Yeah.
You think you're going to get there, you slide. They're that quick, they can just nick it and they're gone.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit like, you're gonna have to stamp out slide tackling soon, because that happens. Players are quick, they nick the ball. For me, it's a foul. A yellow card, I don't know.
It's a foul,
I don't know.
Do you know what killed him was that little zone there in front of both benches? Do you know that? They call it the red zone, right?
Yeah.
So that's where most red cards are. Because if you think from a referee's perspective, if he sees a tackle going in there, he's going to see the other box jumping up, appealing, do you know, and that will affect the ref. So it's a fact.
It does, and that shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen, but refs are human beings. Like right in front of there, I know what Arteta, I know what Amorim would have been thinking. As soon as he took that heavy touch, Lon was thinking, don't, and he's done it, and like sort of turn around and go, you know, the ref's going to go red.
Yeah,
it puts the pressure on the ref. It was a controversial game all round, you know.
They done well with Man United though.
Yeah, listen, we can't take anything away from them.
Considering where they've been at, you know what I mean, they showed a bit of spirit, character, they're resilient. You know, I think them getting the first goal probably helped. Because then they battling away still. If they go a goal down, it might have been a lot different, obviously. But them getting that goal, I think they showed fight, spirit and all that. And, you know, the crowd behind them, which they haven't shown over recent times. A bit of a knock-on effect from Liverpool. And they had that little bit of fight and spirit. I know they could have conceded goals. They just kept going and kept battling.
And you got to talk about Bayern there.
Yeah.
He was heroic, innit? Wasn't he? I looked at him, I was thinking, who's this geezer? I never knew he was at the club.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it just shows you what a good goalkeeper can do for you as well. Yeah. And also, when I look back at that game, like I know we talk about Havertz, before, but I actually like what he done for the goal. I know that it's controversial. People talk about diving. People talking about diving, but
getting the penalty.
Getting the penalty. But I look at Havertz, and that's nothing to you want your striker. If he's playing in front of you, Cole, you want him to do everything possible to get the upper hand. Right? Would you go over to him and batter him, say, no, that was a dive, you shouldn't? No. As a player.
No, you're right. You're player to player. Yeah, you're right. Player to player.
For the neutral fan, I get the neutral fan, they're going to look at it and think, that's cheating and not. But I want my striker to do something like that so we can get a goal.
Harry Maguire's hand was on him.
Yeah.
You can see why people do it.
Yeah.
I've had it myself before where, you know, if you're running with the ball and it's not really like a blatant foul. Yeah. You've had this little nudge or a little hand or something and it's put you off your stride.
It does.
It's put you off your stride.
Yeah, I know.
That affects what happens next.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, that was a foul. And they don't give it because it don't look that bad.
Yeah.
So I understand why people dive because you get that touch. Think if it has put you off a little bit, you just thought, I'm just going to go down. But it was exaggerated. Has it put him off his stride? Has it done that? Probably not because it was a weak hand and everything. But I understand why people do it because it's so annoying when you get that little nudge or little flick and a ref don't give it because you haven't made a meal of it.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, like a Sam Allardyce or someone would go, listen, if he touches you, go down. Stop being honest. It's always that, stop being honest. And I was like, I don't know any other way to be. So for me personally, I wouldn't have gone down. I'd have tried my best to get to the second touch and try and put it in the net. Because that's how I am as a person. But I can understand how the game has evolved now. Everything in that box is like touch and go. So you've got to be very careful as a defender now. Because you don't know, even how they defend, like when they're from a corner kick or not a corner kick, from a cross, and then they've got to put their hands behind their back now because you can't have your hands loose no more because they either get a penalty or there's a free kick somewhere. It's so hard to be a defender nowadays when you're in that final third. So I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, okay.
But you got to take advantage. If you could get the advantage, you've got to take advantage of it because they'll do it to you.
I would have been it'd be nice if refs just goes, you know what, you can have the penalty, but for reacting and overreacting what you did, you can have a card as well.
It's controversial.
That's controversial.
There you go. Have your penalty, but stop being an idiot and rolling around.
Wayne Bridge justice.
That just sorted it right out, didn't it?
Mate, I tell you who's great at Didier Drogba.
Oh, mate.
Do you know what? And I think I might have heard Jamie Carragher say it. Might not have been, might have been someone else, but I remember him saying it's so annoying because he's so strong.
Yeah.
He would bully him, right? Yeah. And then when they go to give him a little bit, he would just dive and roll around. You couldn't win with him because he would bully you, and then or he'd just dive around.
I couldn't do that. Like for me as a man,
as a man, you know your mates are in the stadium going, Cole, you got weights there.
You know what I mean? There's like no, I can't. There's no bragging rights there.
Yeah.
So there was one time when I did get fouled and I've gone on the floor, but someone thought I actually was diving. I think it was against Arsenal, West Ham at Arsenal, Upton Park. And then someone thought I took a dive and I didn't, and I was on the floor, and I felt like a little boy, man. I was on the floor like that, and I remember, I think the goalkeeper came over me. He's going, "You're a little cheat."
Layman.
No, it weren't Layman. It was, I think it might have been Chesney or someone.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
He said,
yeah.
"Oh, you're a cheat," and I think someone came over again. I think it was Song came over me, and I was in the melee. I was on the floor like that. I was like, "Nah, I'm getting buoyed here." My mates are in the stands, yeah, and I'm like, "No, I gotta get up." He's not having me up, mate. I'm not having it. Anyway, man.
Did you ever get in any, like... I don't ever remember you getting into any scuffles because you was a big guy. Like, it's usually us little guys that are in there grabbing,
that was the first time I felt inferior to everybody on that.
Really?
Because I felt like a little wimp, yeah. And I've never felt like that. I'm a big macho man, Coley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come in the building, make sure that everyone's safe. I'm the security guard. Yeah, I'm the security guard. Not me being on the floor like that. Nah, I had street cred to protect, man.
So Chesney made you look like Ian Bill.
Oh, mate, I got to get that picture up as well. It was really bad. Anyway, and even when I come off the field, my missus, yeah,
Oh,
this
no.
is when you know. She goes, "You all right, babe?
Oh, no.
Are you all right, babe?" My own wife. I was like, nah, this. I was traumatized. That's why I'm still speaking about it today.
If you dived, you must have dived a few.
Oh, he definitely. He looks like a diver. Listen,
No, I wouldn't say he looks like him, but he's got it in him.
mate, he's
Accusations.
definitely-
You must have made a meal of it.
got it
I've
in
only
you.
done it once.
No.
You've done it a few times.
I never like...
What?
I wasn't... No, I never made a meal of it.
You made it look good.
If I was touched, I used to go down. Never made a meal because there's nothing worse. I remember remember Matt Elliot, the big
Yeah, yeah,
Leicester.
of course, yeah.
I saw him the other day, right? And you know, I ain't seen him for 20 years.
Yeah.
He was doing a Leicester game, and he looks like he's a unit, and he looks like he could do some damage to people. He's got that look about
He was
him.
always like that.
And I remember a game we played at Leicester. I went down for a penalty. It was a penalty. He fouled me, but I knew it was coming. I saw it was coming. Bang! I've gone down. And then, mate, he picked me up, and there must be a picture out there. My legs are off the floor. And he's grabbing me like that. And I was about 18 as well at the time, so I was like, and I was like, Matt, do you remember that? Yeah. And he said some expletives and went, yeah, I remember. But
Remembered it.
mate, I was like, what? You know, that was when I first realised, wow, I'm in a men's game here.
Yeah.
No youth team players were lifting me off my feet. He was a
You're
big
not
old
having
unit.
that. Yeah.
But that's going back to Harry Maguire
Yeah.
and his reaction to
Yeah.
Havertz. I like that from him. I
Yeah.
think Harry needs to. If I was advising Harry, I think we talked about him last week, didn't we? He's a nice guy. He's a nice lad. I want him to be a bit more aggressive and
He's a little bit
assertive.
passive.
I think
It's
it
a
should be
bit-
normal to react like that. You're in a
Yeah.
game. You know, do you know what I mean? It's
Because-
normal to.
but Harry's,
I reckon.
you
Yeah.
can see he's kind of a placid character. He's
Yeah,
chilled. He's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
chilled for
yeah.
a centre half because
Yeah.
centre half's supposed to be in your face, but he does his job,
Yeah.
does it efficiently, goes home
Yeah.
and chills.
Yeah.
But there, he could see that hurt him
Yeah,
because he
yeah,
knew. Hold on a minute, why are you going
Injustice,
down? Yeah, it's
injustice,
injustice. So and you should be having to
What
actually.
was Coley? Sorry.
And you know what? The referee should read that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
He's, how a player reacts. There's a big thing in that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
a big thing. Look at the player that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's unjust.
on the refs, really.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
should know that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Body language, man.
Harry, if I was managing Harry, if I was Manchester United manager, I'm managing Harry Maguire. Every game I'd be going, you're Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
Don't remember that. You look at the size here. Go out there, dominant. No, not gonna. I'll be right. I think he needs a little bit more of his chest puffed out. Do you know? Because I think believing in himself. But I was happy with him like that. But Man United was a stunning result for him. Do you know what I mean? And I think they can. I think now they look at that, and that
can
could
kick
save
on.
their season. That
Yeah, it can kick on.
They could
I
have a
think
run in
last
the
the one
FA
against
Cup.
Liverpool and that. I think
Yeah.
they just got to
That's
carry on
enough.
with that spirit, really.
Yeah, yeah. And I look at other people looking at them and probably criticising them, saying, "Oh, they won't do that again."
Yeah.
Mate, they've done it last week. They'll do it again this week, and they'll do it.
Yeah.
And it's just something to build on.
Yeah.
Now they can see, like, okay, Amarim's got this.
Yeah.
Do you know what Amarim's done? He's built resilience.
Yeah.
That's what he's wanted.
It would have
Resilience. It
built
doesn't
a
mean
belief.
that he's
I
got
think
his
there's a
team.
belief,
yeah. Doesn't mean he's got his right team or the right tactics right now, but at least he's got something to start with.
It goes a long way when you've got that belief and you're in a game,
Yeah.
believing and fighting for each
So fair
other.
play to him.
If you've got people that have got their heads down, oh no, not another day. Do you know what I mean? That they've got a bit of belief.
But that's what you were
That's
saying
true.
last
That's
week.
true.
That's what you were saying. You were saying the same thing, saying, "Nah, we want to at least see you run. Now they're running for each other, so that's a great thing for them.
Yeah, but-
So well done to Manchester United.
Well done to them, man. Listen, that was a great game. What game I loved watching? The Spurs Tamworth game at the weekend, because I interviewed the Tamworth goalkeeper, right? They're a proper the guy's he's a building surveyor.
Is he?
The goalie, the captain. Like, we interviewed him for something else I was doing.
Yeah.
And he's in his car, and before you go on air and you're interviewing him, like, what are you doing, mate? When he's like, just got a building to survey behind me, and now he's going to be playing against Son, and he was telling me what a big game it was for him, and he played really well.
Yeah.
He made some saves, and Spurs nearly had a Spursy moment, didn't they? They nearly. Sorry to all Spurs fans listening.
I was expecting the Spursy moment.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was going that way, didn't it?
Sorry. Me and my eldest is Chelsea fan. We done the most Chelsea fans. We wasn't watching the game live. We watched it later on. But we got phone calls. I got a phone call saying, Spurs are going into extra time with Tamworth. We run to our car and go, we got to watch this. No, that's my son. He's 12 going, Dad, we got to watch this.
We got to watch this.
He's already started. He's got a group chat. So that he's like, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. We went home, but by the time we got home, they'd scored and the job was
yeah.
done.
Well, they needed that.
There's always one of them games that come.
Have you played in any of them?
Yeah, I can't remember who, but it was for Chelsea. I think you were
we
definitely
played,
there.
yeah.
I think you played in it.
Yeah.
And the pitch was terrible, and it does even it out when you play against people, and then you're always changing the team around as well. So it's not the usual team, and everyone wants to get in a start. So everyone wants to be starting, don't they? And it's their chance.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't think that can go the team's way. People don't play how they would normally play. Sometimes try and do too much sometimes, but a pitch can even it out, and it's tough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Getting the ball under control, it's bobbly, passes down.
You're in their backyard.
Yeah,
So
and then
they know their conditions.
and you got the fans getting in your head, mate. You're getting abused.
Yeah,
and they're there.
Non-stop.
They're right there, right in your face.
Yeah.
Taking a corner, you can feel the
Like,
geezers.
we need an early goal just to get this game under control.
Well, that's like a you need that early drink when you go into a bar just to
Settles the night. Settles the night.
And then you say, do you know what? So you just need that early goal. Same concept.
Yeah.
And the thing about it as well, like I've played in. Remember, I told you last week about my Indonesian escapades. Yeah.
This is going to be a segment.
Oh my gosh! So I've not had a good time there so far, and I get drawn the short straw, and I want to play football.
Yeah.
He's not playing me, the manager. He says, "Listen, I've got a gig for you." I've got a gig for you. We're gonna go to Borneo. Yeah, Borneo.
Ain't that the
It's an
jungle?
island. Yeah, it's a jungle, bro. And I've gone, born where? I'm born here. I'm not going Borneo. Yeah.
I swear.
Saying it. But anyway, right, we get on this plane and it's like, you know those planes, like the small ones, and it's got propellers.
Oh, Coley.
You can see that. And I'm like, mate, I feel like I'm in Indiana Jones. We go treasure hunting. Yeah. So anyway, we take off. We go to this. So it's a beautiful scene. It's like lovely island. And then as we're landing, I'm thinking we're doing circles around because I couldn't even see the tarmac. Yeah, I was thinking where are we landing? I was like, does this thing have like, you know those
the plane.
planes that can go on the sea?
Yeah.
You know those ones that I was hoping that those things come out, like the boys come out, and then they will float, and then we'll go. So actually, so actually, it goes to the tarmac. We're going close. I'm thinking, here it is. Yeah. But then I'm not seeing any kind of life. I'm just seeing wildlife. Yeah, just jungle. Yeah, and I'm thinking, this is.
Did you question your choices?
I question my choices to saying yes to this trip. Yeah. Anyway, we're playing this team, Borneo. We've landed, and then I've gone to we go to the airport, and I'm looking at the airport. I'm thinking, from the airport, this is bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the hotel gonna be like?
Intense.
Oh my God. Anyway, they come and pick us up, and then the first people we see are the locals, and now they look a lot different to what's on mainland.
Yeah.
These are like Aborigines.
Yeah.
They're like proper from there.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, so what are the players like? Are there players? Are they going to be like this as well? So anyway, we get to the hotel. It's a decent enough hotel, but then we go to the training ground, And then the training ground was so bad. Like, and I was thinking, do you know what? We're just going to have to just muck in here because it's not going to be a great... Like, there's not a stadium as well. There's just a training ground, basically. And then people watching just have to stay behind our barriers. So it's like a Sunday league team, basically. But this is like proper League One football over there. It's like their Premier League. And I'm thinking, So I'm thinking the next day, so we had to sleep there. And our game went until night. Yeah, and I was thinking, okay, so after the game, do we leave? They said, no, we've got to wait till the next day. So I said, I've got to stay here for 2 nights.
Night out in Borneo.
Oh my God, night out?
He wasn't leaving his room, mate. He don't know what's out there.
My room, mate.
Carlton Cole will find a night out somewhere.
No, they can't find them. There was no night out over there. Anyway, we go to the game, and I'm thinking, and he's gone, you're starting. I've gone, am I? I said, I better be. That's all I got. Anyway, every touch I had, the whole crowd was going, boom! Oh, it was such a bad experience. We did win the game like 4-5-0. I think I scored 1 goal. But it was horrific. It was horrific. And that was... And then you're talking about Tamworth, or you're talking about, where did you play?
We're comparing
I don't even know where it was.
Scunthorpe.
Scarborough.
Yeah,
Scarborough, that's it, Scarborough.
Scarborough, yeah. That's a doddle, mate.
Yeah.
You ain't done this. You ain't done this. So,
You've 11 a reefed us there.
Mate,
You've
that
topped
is-
us.
Yeah, so I've done that before. Been there, done that. Got the badge.
Yeah. And listen, Spurs got the job done. They got big games coming up, but big changes as well.
Yeah.
Managerial changes, you know. The one that catches the eye for me is, and me and Coley, we obviously with West Ham connection, but David Moyes returning.
Yeah.
It's home for him, innit?
Yeah.
Everton. First of all, I'd say, from my perspective, Sean Dyche leaving. I mean, I know Everton fans listening to them. We had Carl on last week, and he wasn't happy with the style of football.
Still
but
not happy.
Still not happy.
He's fuming.
Still, that's,
Yeah, he's not happy.
mate, that's like.
He can't be happy, surely.
We need to.
Is he-
Backwards,
is he
his words, backwards. That's all I got.
is he
Didn't
inspired-
get nothing else.
is
He
he-
sounded too upset, so I left it at that.
Is
He
he,
said we're going backwards.
is he inspired by the David Moyes signing?
No, he says backwards.
mix,
That was his
man.
reply, backwards.
I think it's a good thing. Because, you know, no, for me, when I look at the David Moyes scenario, and I was doing a bit of radio the other day and was getting some Everton fans calling in. And some of them are just, I said, you lot are ungrateful. Like, he's done so much for your club.
Yeah,
He had a
yeah.
good, like,
What I
10 to 12-year span
Yeah,
over there,
mate.
didn't he?
FA Cup
Yeah.
finals.
And why wouldn't you want that again?
Yeah.
what I got from Carl was the future.
Yeah.
I think Moyes could do all right, but
just needs to consolidate.
They're all. I don't know if his fans wanting too much. Well, what's he going to do for the future and getting better as a team and a thing? But like you said, ungrateful. It probably is like a step in the right direction for him. Maybe he
right
can
now,
make something happen. But it's a hard to call.
And the
isn't it?
David Moyes
It's
of
hard, mate.
the David Moyes of then ain't the David Moyes of now. He's travelled the globe a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's gone to Spain. Yeah, it wasn't great for him, but he's learnt.
Won the big one in Europe, didn't
Yeah, won the big one in Europe with West Ham. Had 2 stints at West Ham.
he? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he's worth his weight in what he does, and he does consolidate you in the Premier League. Now, that's what they need. Everton have been flirting with relegation for so long, yeah, it's become accustomed to their culture.
Yeah.
It's not good. So they need to actually get somewhere up the league, further up now, and say, listen, we're going to be here for a couple of years. Now we're going to build on this and go again. Then you could probably get a new manager if that's what you want to do. But step by step, you've got a new stadium.
Do you know what they're like? You know, like, I think of it like an old sitcom, right? So you've got like, two neighbours, I'm going to go off piece a little bit here. So you've got like 2 little semi-detached there, whatever, and a Liverpool.
Yeah.
The one neighbours have won the lottery. They're going on holiday. They're going to Europe. They're bringing back tradition. And then over the garden fence, they bring. Look what we brought back. And this geezer here, he's struggling like he's Everton, and he's just getting more and more angry. And what's going on here? Like
That is what it is.
that's what it's like. It made because I think obviously I played at Liverpool, and love the people there.
Yeah.
And it's a weird rivalry because they're all close, they're all family and all that. So it's not. I don't think there's the nastiness in it like there is other rivalries. But there's that little like they're like, all right, lad, all right, yeah, and then they're going in they're bloody over the road.
He's an idiot. And he's all right to go and have a beer with, but other than that, I'm not seeing him again this week.
Too much.
That's too much.
That's what man.
I get that. That's a great concept. That's a
Yeah.
great.
And
'cause
again-
I think no. To be honest, I think they'll grow from this.
Yeah.
At least they'll get like Calvert-Lewin playing. And he
Yeah.
loved, Moyes. He
He'll
loves a
love
big,
Calvert-Lewin.
robust striker. Then
Yeah.
he'll love Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
So just get the
It's one of
crosses
them,
into
They know
him.
what he's about, Moyes, and it's a. I kind of say it's a bit of a safe, well, not
Yeah.
safe-ish, but you hope so. It's a
Yeah.
safe one. It's
Yeah.
I look at it and think, well, who else are they going to get?
Yeah.
What other options are there?
Do
Really?
you think if you know David Moyes a little bit, he would wanted that job clearly. You
Yeah.
know, he loved the club, but do you think he's been promised money, Coley? Like, because I think he's a sensible man as well. And they look at the squad and go,
have.
maybe I'm not coming back here until you guys
Put your money in.
put your money back. You know,
Put your money where your mouth is. And the thing about it, I see him actually going for that as well. Like he's thinking, yeah, I'm back to where, and things have changed.
Yeah.
They've got a new training ground since he's left.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
New stadium coming.
New stadium coming.
Yeah.
It's a better project now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like for him. So he must be thinking, do you know what? As they put a bit of cash behind him
Yeah.
as well, it's a no-brainer. Couple of years, 3 years, see how it goes. I think he will kick them on a little bit, and then they can start threatening for Europe.
Yeah.
Now they can get the pool, they can get players in as well.
Yeah,
'Cause he's got that
Big club, innit?
Yeah, it's a
you
big
also
club.
see a reaction from the players that are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Beto, I think he's gonna like Beto because
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
hard-working centre forward,
yeah.
very hard-working.
Players that maybe are on the fringes as well.
Yeah,
and
'cause Beto
when
looked
a
like
new
he was
manager
leaving.
comes on. It's a second chance from a little bit, isn't it? You know what it's
And
like.
there's loads of them in that squad that can do that, like, and just go. They've got quality.
Yeah.
They're not all like down and out. They've all can like revitalise themselves, galvanise themselves to get to the next level. But it does take a good manager that believes in them to play to their strengths. And I think they've got that format. I don't think a lot's going to change in the style of play because Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened there, by the way. Let's talk about that sacking, by the way. That was bang out of order. That was it was like a couple of hours before the match against.
We need to talk about this because
Peterborough.
we are going to come on to this, like, because, you know, a couple like hours before a game. But what are these owners doing?
What are you
Like,
doing?
He's about to prepare. I looked at. Did you see Leighton Baines and Seamus Coleman on the sideline? They took it, and you could. Like, I'm so glad they won the game for them. But like, it was sort of like.
Did they know they was taking it?
How did they even pick the team? Hours like you got, set pieces. They done so well, but. That needs to be a bit more thought through, I think. It's just for everyone concerned. And Sean Dyche didn't deserve
It did look proper though, because when I looked at
I look at it and I quite like it though. Part of me is like, I would have loved to have had a chance.
have a chance, but you
no.
woke up in the
For a
morning.
day, do you know what I
Reggie,
mean?
you woke
Play
up that
with it.
morning. You woke up that morning thinking, I might get a game here. Not let alone managing the team.
It's great for a
Seamus
minute.
Coleman woke up and
Both
he's
been
like,
there.
I'm in the
Both
squad for the game today. I'm not,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's got his numbers being stripped off his tracksuit. He's got SC in it.
I think it's great for him though. He's been there so long. He's been great for the club. I quite like it.
Yeah,
though.
I
But I
do.
get what you mean. It's a rubbish way to do it, but I quite liked it. as well.
I've
I want to know what that conversation was like.
I
though.
know.
Like between the owners, it must have been like, I'm gonna reenact it here. Yeah.
imagine, I don't know, for instance, us two.
Like,
Well, you're managing a team. It's great, wouldn't it? The banter we would have had about it.
it'd be like that with
Who
the
should we
chairman.
play today? I'll get rid of
Because
him.
Bainesy's, I know Bainesy's doing his work as well. Bainesy's doing a lot of work away from the club with the FA.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
doing his badges and that. But he's a great lad as well, Leighton Baines. Like I really want the best for him. He's a great lad. And the thing about it, like that conversation must have been like, "Hey Sean, need a little chat." This is at the hotel, by the way. Little chat. We've just looked at our position in the league. Can you tell me why we've only won 3 games out of the last 20? And then Sean must have been like, well, it's the players. I can't do much with these boys. That must have been the conversation. And they've said, you know what? Let's rip this up, yeah? This contract, you got to go. That's probably what's happened because it doesn't make sense that they've done it on the morning of the game.
It don't make sense.
It's nonsense. Like, who does that?
It don't make sense. I mean,
And I'm just saying, that's the way I thought that conversation had gone. Definitely.
I actually, my last year playing, I was player assistant manager for 6 months, and
That must have been.
that was weird. But it's weird. It's weird because you're like
Player assistant manager.
player assistant manager. So it was 2 weeks before I was in a nightclub in Puerto Rico when we was playing away from home with the lads. 4 or 5 in the morning, right? It was a great night out with.
Was it?
I
brilliant.
loved it, right? Then we're warming down in the we had to do a warm down in the sea in Puerto Rico at 9, and I would come in at 5 in the morning. And you know when you're walking thinking, I'm still half cut here.
Yeah.
And I'm walking, and the previous manager got in the lift, and you just like, don't smell my breath, because so we got in there, right? So I'm with the lads, and I loved it. I loved being one of the lads. And then he got the sack. My mate took over, and then I'm a player assistant manager. And it's like the relationship then changes. You know what I mean? I'm like,
they're looking to you for guidance.
yeah. And I'm like, so anyway, I step back. Fast forward 5 or 6 weeks. Neil Collins, who was the manager, who's a great lad, great manager, he gets suspended for a game. And I'm actually suspended from playing for bookings. So he said, you're going to have to take the team. We're playing away in Canada. And I'm like, yeah, not a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really, before I say yes to things, I don't really think about them, right? So I'm like, yeah, not a problem, Nearly, like, no worries, I'll do it, right? We prepared the team a week. We get on the plane to Canada. I'm still not even giving up much thought. I'm a little bit of thought about how I speak to the lads. Yeah. All the set pieces are done. I'm working it through. Then about a few hours before, I thought, I've got to stand up now. It's on me. Yeah. I'm like giving the team talk. Right?
You didn't even realise you had to do that part.
No, I did, but some part of me just puts it aside until I need to do it. So and I'm standing up, right? And then I'm thinking, I'm talking to the lads, and I'm thinking, like, any given Sunday, like, lyrics are coming out. I'm like, come on.
Mate, this geezer, like
that. And I'm like that.
Robert De Niro.
I'm slamming the thing. Like, we got to start well, but all the things I say, everything, right? Bang, start. I'm out there, shake the other manager's hand, come back, you know what I mean? I'm sit down like, there's only about 4,000 or 5,000, but I'll give him a little... Yeah. And I've gone out there. Right?
Go play the part.
Ref, I'm at the front of the technical area, and the buzz he got is good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's good. Now I'm standing there, and I'm like, right, okay. Right, kick off, turn round to look back, walk back to the bench, turn round, they shoot, my goalie drops on me with 1-0 down. I swear to God, 1-0 down after about 20, 30 seconds. And I looked up at Neil's in the director's box.
Start.
And he's a lovely fella. I love him. He's my mate. But he's an angry man. He knows He knows this, right? And I look at him. I look up in the stadium. You've got that. I'm like, sorry, Keith, what can I do? Like the goalie for me?
There's nothing you can do. I can't legislate for that.
We got beat 1-0. But it was a great experience.
Is it?
And and something I'm sure I'll go into management. It's a buzz, Bridgie. It is. It's
I've got
like
a buzz from coaching the kids.
Yeah, exactly. You do it because you're helping them.
It does. It's actually a different... Look, I think it's a great thing to do when you're transitioning away from playing.
Yeah.
Like, it just gives you that... it empowers you to stay in the game, obviously, for one. But you're the older statesman. Yeah. And people look towards you anyway. When you was playing the back end of your career, the kids that are coming through, they'll come and ask you questions. So it's kind of the natural transition to do it, but it just depends if you want to take it further. Yeah. So I think it's a good out, taking a couple of games with the youth team or wherever you're at and just seeing if you fancy it or not. And
I could imagine it's good, mate, but I couldn't imagine being manager and having to deal with 25 men, 22 men, whatever
egos
you've got, mate. Yeah, that would do my nut in. Yeah. Especially someone you really don't like and someone who don't give you. Someone who's got a proper attitude. That'd do my nut in, mate. It wouldn't last 5 minutes.
So there's so many stories.
You've got to be patient.
Yeah,
but be patient.
Deal with all that. I couldn't do that.
You don't realise we've been playing it since we was a kid, and you have a 20-year career, 15-year career. Yeah. You know, and so there's so much wisdom in there. Like I feel there's a responsibility to pass on. It's something I will do eventually.
Yeah, I think you will do. You got that in you. And I look at, listen, go back to Moyes, like, it's an unforgiving game. He's done so much for the game. Yeah. But people still batter him, saying about his style of football. Sam Allardyce used to be coated with that. Yeah. But do you know what? To be in the game, Alan Pardew, these type of managers, right? To be in the game for that long, you have to evolve as a manager, as a coach, as a person. Yeah. And everyone stigmatizes you to be in a certain way or play a certain style, but actually...
You're probably learning all the work.
But they're actually changing how they manage, not just the brand of football, but changing how they treat people. And that's what a manager is. It's not just a coach no more. It is actually just a coach now. But back in the day, the old school, they used to manage you like as a person. And I think people don't understand the value in how to treat another person, because you're dealing with people every day. It's people you're dealing with, isn't you? So you've got to be able to know how to get the best out of somebody. And it's so underrated, that skill, and I think a lot of people forget that we're not robots.
Yeah. Human beings.
And then you got coaches as well. Nowadays, they probably don't coach the way they have to. They're more people managed, because most of these boys are really good at football now.
Yeah.
So it's hard, and they've got so much stuff at their hands now.
Yeah.
They can go and see if you're talking crap.
Yeah,
Because they could just question you.
Yeah.
Why did you drop me? Well, I've got my stats here.
Yeah.
They could come and question you. Back in the day, you go to anybody, any of your managers, and they drop you. They say, all right, fair enough, but I can't prove that what you're saying is not true. But
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
if they drop you, you can go to the drawing board
Yeah.
and see, well, that's not right.
Yeah,
That doesn't
yeah,
make sense.
yeah.
So you could go question him. So now I think it's even more a time now when you got to just be a people's person.
Yeah.
To be a manager. You don't have to be a manager as in run the whole club. Just do your
Yeah.
part and try and get the best out of your players.
You two are people.
People.
Yeah,
People.
you know what I mean? You'd be good man management, and you obviously love coaching. Why don't you put yourself in for the West Ham job? I missed the trick with you two, haven't they?
I love that. We've had this conversation before.
We've had the conversation. I love the idea of helping young players
That's
and
my
young
thing.
men perform and to achieve something
Their goals
together.
and that,
Like, because there's nothing better than that. And listen, we're going to go on to West Ham, but I'll ask Bridgie, because obviously you're working at West Ham. Graham Potter coming in. He's a
I used to
modern
clean
man.
his boots.
Wow.
You used to clean his boots.
About 6 months, yeah.
Yeah?
At Saints, he was a winger at Saints.
No way.
He done better as a manager he did as a footballer. I don't think many people would have known that. A lot of people I know didn't really hear of Graham Potter as much of a player, but I cleaned his boots.
Really?
Okay. That would have been his claim to fame for about 15 years until he started managing.
He's doing all right now, isn't he?
Oh, no, it's done brilliant.
Go on, what are you saying? Sorry.
See, did he give you any tips?
Well, no, you want to know about the Christmas
No,
bonus.
Christmas
50
bonus.
quid, I think.
You're gonna give you
It wasn't
50
bad
quid.
back then, it wasn't bad. But everyone always wanted Matt the Tiz or one of the established players, didn't they?
Imagine having Matt Letiz's boots. I'd have
Yeah.
cherished
That'd be
them.
ledge.
Yeah.
Great, you got Graham Potter.
I didn't get the best of players. No offence, but everyone wanted Matt Letizia, didn't they? Or Rod Wallace or something like that.
So you used to do his boots. Whose boots did you clean?
I cleaned Shaka Hislop's, mate, these feet.
Big Shaka.
Big Shaka. They were size 17 or something. I needed a tub of dubbing just to get one boot.
The kids stopped doing that after a
I
couple of years,
know.
didn't they? After we finished, I think. They
Yeah.
start jobs.
I was the last one.
year.
Was you the last one? Was you? Yeah.
Do you remember the lads? Do you remember breaking in boots? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
No, I
you used to
never
wear
had to
their
do that.
boots
Yeah,
into
I
the
remember
showers
the
and
first
that.
team used to come in. Some of the first team would go break one of them in for they'd be like, who's a size 7, and just throw them in. You'd have to wear because boots are different now. You were guaranteed blisters on new boots back in the day. Nowadays,
Defo.
I put a pair of new boots on. I'm like, I'm good to go.
Yeah, slip it.
So we had to break them in for the first team.
Yeah, I used to do Dennis Wise's boots.
Yeah, he
And
would have
I've
looked
done-
after you though.
I've done
would
Rude
he?
Hillet.
Yeah.
I've done Rude Hillet and Dennis Wise's boots.
You had a great pair
that's
there.
good.
Yeah.
Give me a few quid.
I'll tell you the story.
Graham
I'll tell you the
Potter.
story. Yeah, Graham Potter. Yeah. So I was quite privileged to be like, if you get the captain's boots,
Yeah.
you're kind of highly thought of in the establishment. Yeah. So I had Dennis Wise. So Christmas time comes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, do you know what? I'm buzzing. Get the bonus because
Yeah.
You think you're going to get a good one off him already?
I'm thinking,
good one.
I've got the skipper. I've got the skipper. And then obviously the second years they got their bonuses the year before, obviously, and then they were saying how much they got. So I was buzzing to say, I might get like £150 or 200 quid. Mate, I've given him his boots that day, and I've gone.
Waiting
Waiting for my bonus. I'm just hanging around the dresser. It's like, he's just taking it off me, and he's gone out. I was like, oh. Then everyone's gone, oh, how much did you get? I was like, I didn't get nothing. I didn't get nothing. And I was, anyway, just hanging about the whole day. He's ignored me. He's ignored me.
Hello, Wisey.
He's ignored me the whole day. Anyway, what it was said, and I asked, I think it was, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Aaron Lincoln, actually.
Yeah.
He said, he ain't going to give you no money. I've gone, why? What have I done? He said that you've nicked his boots. And I've gone, what? And I've said, how am I going to nick, size 5 high-techs?
High-tech. I have a pair of high-techs.
Where am I going to nick size 5 high-techs? And where am I selling them? Like, I can't wear them. What am I doing with them? Like, that's not going for any money in the hood. Yeah? It's not going, like, no one wants Dennis Wise's size 5 blue high-techs. Anyway, man, like, so didn't get no money that year. You
didn't get nothing?
I got nothing.
Why is he?
Nothing.
Luckily, I was coming into the point, so I was about to turn 17 anyway. No. The next year I was going to be 17, so I was going to be a pro anyway, so I was going to get big money anyway. But it was just... I just felt a bit bad and hard done by, man.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't get nothing.
We all know Aaron, don't we? Big stuff. I thought he would have just been winding you up or something.
Nah, I got no money. I got nothing, mate. Absolutely. Like,
and did you not speak to him
about
it?
And he accused me of stealing his boots.
You not can't have a word with him, though.
I've
got his number. We give him a
call him later. He owes you a one.
I've said the story before. I've said it.
We'll speak some
on my radio.
Have you spoke to him about it since? Never.
No, I never spoke.
I'll send you his number. You can drop.
We get him on the. We get him on the. We
need to get him on the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is he? Where's Dennis Wise?
He was over in Como. He set up that, and then I think he's left. He's left there. Yeah. He's just doing his thing, and he's like,
we get him on the pod.
We get him on the pod.
This is a legend for Chelsea.
And I'm sure he'll be happy to hand you over a little bullseye or something for that.
Yeah, I do want my money back. I do want some money, like £20 would do, just to say you appreciate my efforts.
What do you say about Graham Potter? Are you happy with him or not?
Yes. I think I want to see all English managers do well, Bridgie.
Yeah.
I liked Brighton. He was great. Chelsea, the biggest mistake he made, and I say it if I see him, was
leaving Brighton.
Was coming into a club which was such a mess at the time, but only because of what was going on. Everything was changing. But then I remember the first thing he said when he took over the club. He said he's never even been to a Champions League game. And I thought it was a strange thing for a manager coming into Chelsea to say. He shouldn't have said it, but so his advice around how he positions himself in the media, I think, would be better. On the pitch, you speak to the lads, they like the way he trained. Yeah. I like the way he tried to play, and he didn't get enough time at Chelsea. Yeah. So I wanted to do
22 games he got?
It wasn't enough time, you know what I mean? But I think what he needs to take from that Chelsea experience is learning to be a bit more cuter with how he positions himself in the media, because you're going into the Lions' Den at Chelsea. Yeah. That's been Conte, Mourinho, Ancelotti.
That's a 0 to 100.
There was a couple of things I think he might have said. I can't remember what they were when he said it, and it trying to come across a bit funny. I thought, no, that ain't the right time to be doing this.
Yeah, and he never really didn't understand the standards. Like, it's okay for at Chelsea to, if you're losing 3-4 games, to stand up there in front of me and go, this isn't good enough from my players. And we're going to do this, and I'm going to change that, and I'm going to do that. He didn't. He was just the same message across, and I thought,
I think what he's got to do, and it depends who's got around him, just to go and be what he wants to be. So go and make sure that, because he's come in and he says he wants to play the youth.
Yeah,
that alone. Remember, I was speaking about it last week about how that buys you time anyway. Yeah, if you go in and say, I've got a plan. I've got a plan for the future of the club, and this is a project.
Yeah.
Do that, and then all they need to see, because I think from now to the end of the season, all the fans want to see is I think they've written their season off to get into the big heights in Europe and all that. So I think what they would probably want from him is the fact that we can see a style of play.
Yeah.
I think under Lopetegui, they weren't. You knew what he was about, but you just couldn't see it registering and transferring onto the pitch.
Yeah.
And he's such a great person. I wanted it to work out for him, but it didn't. So now the transition into Potter, I just want to see a style of play, something that we can look at. And I think we've seen that. The first game that they had up at Aston Villa, you can see what they're trying to do. The first 60 minutes of that game, I was thinking, do you know what? This is proper. Now we can see the style of play. Now we can see what he's actually going for and what that team is capable of. And I think with Potter as well, one thing he's going to be able to do is change his style of play as well. So if it's not working, he's not like one of these managers like a Chris Martin.
Yeah. He's the Coldplay singer, geez.
Russell Martin. Chris Martin. I don't know. That is. I got.
Weren't he married to Gwyneth Paltrow?
I was listening. I was listening to him on the way in. That's probably why.
Mate, we've changed.
Russell Martin.
We've changed.
We changed you since
changed you to
disabled,
disabled.
haven't we?
Oh, you haven't. I've always been on that.
Oh, have you?
Mate, didn't you see my playlist when we was in the room?
What room?
When we was
Oh, yeah.
my playlist is
Kasabian.
Elite Kasabian,
Oh,
yeah.
no, I didn't see it. Where was I?
You was in there.
Was I?
Yeah, you just
Remember
forgot.
that?
He was in there. Whether you was in there,
Mate,
bodily, you.
that was my playlist.
I thought it was
And everyone,
mine.
yeah, no. Well, got a bit to play later on. But anyway, like with Russell Martin, he was just adamant I'm playing this style of football at Southampton.
Yeah.
And that's it. My way or the highway. I'm not changing my values. I'm not. But I think with Graham Potter, he will change to what he sees in front of him.
He'll adapt.
He'll adapt with the tactics and everything that goes on a football pitch during the game. He'll change it about. Whereas other managers, I don't think got that skill to do that because they're just my way or the highway.
I think there's a lot you could have done with that Southampton team, to be fair.
But saying that as well, I think he's gonna have a good time. I just think he needs time.
Yeah.
He just needs time, and he's got this next 6 months to prove that we see a vision going forward. Then he'll have what he needs to do in the summer to build upon.
Yeah.
You know, like he might get a few players in.
Yeah.
His players that he wants.
Yeah.
So from now to the end of the season, go for it.
See you going. Yeah, I mean, listen, wish him all the best. Transfer market, like, yeah, we're going to go into it's silly season in it. January, you see some mad transfers, but one of the things that caught my eye. I'll ask you, Bridgie, as a fullback, Carl Walker leaving Manchester and an ex-Manchester City player. What do you make of that?
You don't know, really, do you? You don't know if he's had, obviously, a lot of publicity around his personal life. So you don't know if that's playing a factor in it. Because to want to leave City,
Yeah.
it's a big shout, isn't it?
Yeah.
Considering he's been
wanted
such
to
an
leave 2 years ago,
important
though.
player for him.
He wanted to leave 2 years ago, though, bro.
You know, but look how much his personal life's come into play over the last few
that's true.
years. Do you know what I mean? It ain't just now, it's over the
What he
last
was running
few
away
years,
from
though.
back then. He saw it coming.
Yeah, so-
He saw it coming.
I don't like to talk about it, but you just
He was like,
don't
mate,
know, do ya?
I want to jump ship now because I know what's coming.
And it might be, mate. It might be. You're ruthless, Carlton's ruthless.
Because I know I would be
I want
saying.
to be diplomatic about it, and Carlton just goes, boss.
Because Pep, like that, I don't want to laugh at another man's misfortune.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
know Pep had to kind of convince
Yeah.
him to stay 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's got to that point when things have hit the fan. Yeah?
Big
And
time.
big time. And maybe his only thing in his head now is just he wants his
Family.
family safe.
Yeah.
He wants everybody. And
Will it
and
be
if,
quieter out there for him? I don't know. But you know what? Press are like.
I think
it's probably it's been hard for a minute. It's got to have been
I
hard.
think
for
it
him.
must be
I
hard
think
for
Wait,
he needs the
the fact that
hiatus.
he's
I think
actually-
he needs the
Yeah.
I think he needs
He needs
peace.
peace.
But I
yeah.
think the fact that he's actually still played and played well.
And been brilliant, by the way.
Like, do you know what I mean? With everything that's been going on.
When
take
I've
me out
had
to him.
when I've been having turmoil off the pitch, I've actually homed in on the pitch.
Do you know what that is? You're
It's like
you're
Chaos in
you're
the
at home
background.
in chaos.
yeah.
You're at home in
No, but it's
chaos.
not. I think it's not. I don't think it's that. I just think everything's going on. It's
Football's your
rubbish off the
refuge.
pitch. Yeah,
Football
it's
can
my
be your
refuge. Like,
refuge.
when we go to training,
Yeah.
there's nothing else we think about. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
getting better, making sure
We're ready.
we're ready for the game.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. But when you come off the pitch, when you cross that right line, you come off the pitch, again, it's like, oh, here we go
Yeah,
again.
I know.
That's your
I
refuge.
know.
Just focus.
I'm the
Just
same.
focus on that. The whistle
Yeah.
goes. Just focus on playing football.
So that's why he's done so well, and he's just focusing on that. And he's like, I'm gonna make this so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play to the best of my ability, and I'm gonna leave everything because I've got so much frustration pented up in me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I do this at least correctly and play to the best of my ability. And I think that's what he's done, and he's done it his whole career because maybe
Yeah.
footballers, some of us have a turmoiled life off the pitch,
Turbulence.
chaos.
Got to keep the seatbelts
But
on
that's
while we're
why
flying.
all of that culminates to what you see on the pitch, which is sometimes beautiful.
And the fact
You know what I mean?
Pep really likes him as well, doesn't he? As
Yeah.
well, like,
Oh, he's
loves him. Yeah.
You supported him.
Supported him, and they. I think he's brilliant. I think he's top draw. I met him. I didn't play with Carl. Played against him a few times, but I met him on holiday with his family, lovely family, and
Lovely guy.
And I think he's done so much in the game. If he I think Pep will go, if you want to leave and you want
Fair
to
play.
go, you'll go with a blessing. And I think it'll be a massive hole for Man City because he looks, I know he's a leader in the dressing room, but you just wish him all the best. And I think he's when he retires from football,
he's going to
look back and think, what a career.
What a career, man.
Yeah.
He's and that time when he left Spurs,
Yeah.
Obviously Spurs would have looked at it, and the fans would have looked at it and thought, why is he leaving us? Like, he's gone for the money, this, that, and the other. Which, yeah. But look what he's won now. Like, you look back, it's like the same with Ashley Cole.
Yeah.
Like, he left Arsenal.
Yeah.
And if everyone said, why are you leaving Arsenal for, blah, blah, but look what he went and done. Do you know what I mean? So when you look back on your career, when you've made these big calls and these big decisions, you've got to take your hat off.
Yeah, you
know what I mean? You got to applaud him. He's done brilliant, the boy.
You do. We're going to go a little bit off piste. Yeah, my outside of England, my team Barcelona dominant against Real Madrid. I mean, what did you make of it, Bridgie?
I haven't actually seen it.
Right. Okay. Good honesty. I like that.
But I've heard it was a good game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see you watching some highlights. I can hear lots of noises.
It was superb.
I don't think anyone would have seen it coming like that, would they? Not 5-2 spanking.
No, it's
It was played in a different country.
Yeah.
You know, so it was played in Saudi.
Yeah.
And that's the excuse I'm giving Real Madrid. Yeah, because it was not in Spain.
They weren't on them Indonesian flight skis. They were travelling first class. You know what I mean? Like with the propellers.
They had beds on that plane.
And they're used to hot weather as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there shouldn't be any excuses. But what an event to watch in your backyard if you're in Saudi.
Yeah.
Like,
Brilliant.
Real Madrid and Barcelona rocking up and playing a significant cup game, which means something to them as well. So it was actually a good, spectacle.
Spectacle, yeah.
And the thing about it as well,
Were
I
they
watched
that
the
good,
game. I
Barca?
watched it, and I was like,
They're just that good, yeah.
it was entertaining.
Or did Real not turn up?
I think
bit of both, wasn't it?
both, yeah.
Both. It's great to have Barcelona at the back at the top table now, and with the best
Who's
young
winning
player in
that
the
league?
world.
Atletico.
Atletico are there as well. You know,
Yeah.
we got our own Conor Gallagher out there.
Yeah.
You know, I just think, and obviously Jude Bellingham, you know, playing for Real Madrid, he's scored 9 in the last 10.
He's on flames.
You know,
How's he so good?
a robot, mate. He's a robot.
Is it mindset? It's just because he's a good player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's a really good player, but I just think he's just got that
He's-
winning beast inside him. It's like a
I've heard
mentality.
Jamie talk about him. I've talked to Jamie about him. Jamie Lawrence talked about it the other day, and he was, we would call it critical, whatever it was. It was basically talking about the formation England should have played, and Jude wasn't performing that well, and Foden and what he does on the ball and everything. And he's obviously a great player.
Yeah.
Very different to Phil Foden in terms of ability, I'd say.
Yeah.
When I look at Jude, I just think he's got winner written all over him.
Yeah.
It's the mentality, the work rate. I think, you know, we've had, you know, when you're in training and you're picking teams and you think, I want him in my team, he's a winner. As much as he's a good player, he's a winner. Do you know what I mean? Like Arjen Robben, for instance, I call him a winner. Do you know what I mean? As good as he was, he was
Still a
proper winner. He was
winner.
going to stick in. You count on him.
Yeah.
You know, if it get in the trench, you count. I think he's someone you could probably count on if it gets...
Yeah, when it gets sticky.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's proved it time and time again for England, doing scissor kicks. He's pulling out a Joe Cole
still
in the
so
big
young
stage
as well.
at the Euros, and he's so young doing. I'm thinking this guy is he's gifted, man.
Yeah.
Gifted kid, and he's got a younger brother as well coming through the ranks as well.
That must be hard, though, isn't it? If if your brother's Jude Bellingham and your name's Job, so your name's nearly Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? It's
It's mad, isn't it?
like that's a family dynamic. You know what I mean?
And
But I hope he goes in as a. I've not seen enough of him.
But look, going back to the
they
game.
look like a good family as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are a brilliant family. And going back to the game anyway, like I didn't see that drumming. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
But it's just nice to see Barcelona back doing what they do best. And forget the transfer speculations. Forget they can't sign Almo. Is it Elmo?
Olmo, yeah. If they got him, they can't play him.
They can't
He
play
ain't
him.
paid the subs.
You know what I mean?
Whatever it
Like- so they're going through a bit.
Imagine that conversation.
They're going through a bit financially.
You go to the manager's office,
yeah.
I'm not playing. You say, why, Gaffer? well, we ain't paid the fee. I'm like,
What do you mean?
what do you want me to do? Cut the lawn or something?
Put out the codes. That's what you got to do. Put out the codes.
Trying to find some.
Go and wash the bibs.
Yeah, oh, mate. I mean,
mad, isn't it?
however a mess it looks over there, they're doing it, and it's a great result for them.
Let's talk about Rafinha, by the way. He's gone from Yorkshire, yeah? Well, he's a Brazilian in Yorkshire, yeah? Then he goes to...
Relegated with Leeds.
Relegated with Leeds. Now he's dominating with Barcelona. What a player. And if you see his goals, you'll see
Bridgie.
that is disability.
He's a player, isn't he? The fact that Leeds had him anyway, I'm a little bit like, they've done well to get him.
Yeah,
And by the way, they didn't use him right as well. Like the way that they was mad pressing. You need to get him the ball.
Yeah, you need to get him the ball, let him work his magic, and that's when he done that a few times when he was playing at Leeds, you saw how good he was. He scored some brilliant goals.
Oh, he's always looked good.
Yeah.
It's mad how Leeds had him.
Yeah.
Someone else hadn't picked him up.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Really, I look at it like
Leeds to Barcelona. Has that ever been done?
Mate, there's been some mad ones over the years, but that's up there. Was you there?
Gravison at Everton. He's gone
Gravison
Everton to Real Madrid,
Oh
mate.
yeah, I remember that one as well.
Mate, yeah.
And the other, who's the one at West Ham as well?
You must have been
Carlos
there.
Tevez.
No.
Julian Faubert.
Yeah, that's the one. Where'd he go?
Oh my
Real Madrid.
Yeah, Real Madrid as well.
Mate, that was funny, man. Like I spoke to Julian the other day. Actually, Julian, like he's a coach now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's giving back, and like I just remember that. I've come. We rocked up in on a Saturday. Yeah. No, it was on a Thursday. Sorry, rocked up in training, and everyone. I knew obviously it was the January window, and I was thinking, we're missing someone. Who's left? Like, and then everyone goes, "What? You ain't heard?" I've gone, "What?" It's gone. Julian Forbert's gone Real Madrid. I've gone. Give over. What are you talking about? Like, he kept that quiet if that was the case, so it can't be true anyway, because you aren't going to keep something like that quiet, are you? Mate, I get a few texts on my phone. I'm in the dressing room, by the way. We're not...
Yeah.
Carlton, have you seen the news? I'm like, no. What? Julian Forbert? Real Madrid? I'm like, wow. Anyway, we go out to train. Everyone, that's the talk of the town. That's the talk of Chadwell Heath, yeah? That's the training ground, by the way. Yeah. Everyone is talking about Real Madrid, Julian Forbert. How has that happened? I'm thinking, mate, if that was the case, because I still couldn't believe it. I was still waiting for him to turn up in the car park saying he's late.
Yeah, like this is banter.
This is banter.
Yeah. But yeah, what a move. But like, I think that, do you know, like we'll have to get the fact checkers on this, but I think the Ballon d'Or started doing a ceremony, and it was like Agent of the Year, the Ballon d'Or for agents, around that time. Because someone must have gone for like, listen, whoever's done this deal,
well, whoever done that deal, mate,
he's a magician.
And the thing about it as well,
and he ain't a bad player, is he? But
he wasn't a bad player.
It was just there to there.
What happened?
He's incredible.
Did you hear what happened when he was there though?
No.
Oh my God! So remember they play later than us.
Yeah.
So they play. Sometimes their game starts at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Or 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. I think this particular game was at 10. He got pictured, sleeping on the bench for Real Madrid.
Oh my God.
He's taking a nap.
That's unbelievable.
He'll probably say, Carlton, you're pulling out false information. But that was the rumour going on. And I saw, he was on the bench with his snuddy up, and he was like that, and he didn't look like he was sleeping. How'd you get that move and start sleeping on the Real Madrid bench? That is brilliant. But anyway.
That is brilliant.
I love you, Julian. It's just a bit of banter.
Yeah, we love you. We love you. Rashford, another one. Like, what do you make of him, Bridgie? Because
we talked about him before, didn't we? Just he's got so much talent, and we were saying before about it needs someone, a good coach, a good manager that can help him. But sometimes you've got to help yourself. I don't know. I don't know if he needs some wisdom to get him through, because he should be doing well at Man United. Yeah. Really.
Should be, shouldn't he?
He's got so much talent, mate. He's quick, skillful, got a great shot.
I think the romance has left the building with him over at Man United. I don't think that's revivable.
He's obviously got a future in football, but it's where does he go? Where's he going to go?
Yeah. There ain't many options for him because he's on such big wages, isn't he?
That's the thing, isn't it? It's hard.
Mate, I'm hearing rumours. Potter's in for him, mate.
Really?
Oh, it'd be great for West Ham.
I don't know, but that's what
No,
I read it.
It'd be
I read
great
it.
for West Ham if he looking from the outside, sorts his head out and he gets it right.
It was in the papers. I'm not saying that is what's going on, but we've got to go with what we've read.
I think it's a good sign.
If I'm
for
West
anyone.
Ham manager and I talk to David Sullivan and they go, well, there's a possibility it's happening, I would say, get me him.
Yeah.
And I'll soon I'll round the shoulder, say, listen, I'll just have a chat with him, just like what, Marcus,
I'd
what
like
do you
to have
need?
a chat with him.
What do you need? Tell me. Like I want you here. Whatever you
That man
need.
management again.
It's
Isn't
man
it?
management. I'll get his,
What's going on off
bring
the
his
field,
family.
mate? What's going
I know
on,
his
you know?
brothers round and bring them all in. Like, come on, let us work together, man. We all want the same thing.
It happened with Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, same
Jesse
thing with
Lingard
Jesse
came to
Lingard.
us, turned it around, and he started to play. He was loved. He was lauded at West Ham. They loved him, and he made the wrong decision later on, like not returning. He wanted to stay at Man United and prove himself again, but he should have really just come back and just say, listen, draw a line under that. This is the way forward, and he didn't really want to accept that. So kind of that's why he's in Seoul now. Seoul FC.
I know. Yeah, I was over there the other day.
Yeah. So, but then I look at a Rashford. Does he want to leave the Premier League? Why do you want to leave Premier League?
Yeah.
Like I think it's Inter Milan that's after him or AC Milan, one of the two. I get going into the Sun.
Yeah.
I get maybe going to Spain, or something like that. But you're at home. Premier League is your home. You go and fill your boots. Go and make some new memories. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't
Make
have to
them
be
regret selling you.
Yeah, and in their face as well, by the way. So imagine he has a great second half of the season. Yeah, he gets in the England team.
Mate, if he goes on loan to West Ham and he does 15 games and he does what Jesse Lingard does,
'cause
let me tell you, they'll all be queuing up to take
Exactly.
him. They'll all be queuing up to take
So
him.
you just stay in the Premier League and just try and play. And if you do believe in yourself that much, you'll go and do it. And I'm sure that, listen, monetarily, I think there will be a way of getting it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether Man United pay half his wages and then just trying to get him off the books.
West
obviously.
Ham need a striker as well.
We-
don't they? I
Yeah,
think.
well, that's what.
We're just full
crew.
We need a striker. Arsenal need a striker.
Everyone needs,
Everyone needs a striker.
That's
They wouldn't let him go Arsenal, would they? No chance.
Well, if
if the money's right, I think they would. Because I don't think Manchester United see them this season for a loan deal competing with Arsenal. I don't know. Maybe Manchester United fans might tell me different, but I think there's.
But imagine if he goes there and does that well, it looks even worse, doesn't it?
Yeah. But
yeah,
what's his best position? Rashford.
Left forward. He's a left forward. Like essentially, he don't ever look comfortable for me centrally. He's not like one who's, I think, really.
Could he do like what
link
Henry
up.
used to?
Not
You
his-
know, play up and then he drift out.
Go
just
drift out.
get it.
That could
get
be.
on the ball.
That could be a
do
way.
that, but
He's
then-
not an old-fashioned centre forward back to goal, is he? Like you're not expecting that from. Erling Haaland actually isn't like that as well. He plays off the shoulder. When I look at Rashford, he can start from centrally and then drift out to the left and then do his because he's done that quite a lot.
Yeah. I'd play him centrally.
Like, he's just got to be motivated.
I'd play him centrally.
Oh, yeah.
I think he
Imagine
will. If you
him,
get
Bowen and
told
Cooney.
me-
Oh, Paqueta in the 10.
Oh, it'd be lovely.
Yeah.
It'll be lovely.
Yeah.
It's the manager motivate, like you said. You have a word with him, you motivate him, and he's got to have people around him.
That's motivating.
I think the secret with Marcus is everyone around him. What he comes with, getting them all on side and going, listen, let's try and make this thing happen.
I'd love to see him.
I'd love to see
get
him.
back on track, man.
Yeah.
I think he's a good kid as well. He just
Yeah.
needs a little bit of support.
Right, Garnacho
Yeah.
to Napoli. That's another one. They're raiding the Premier League, aren't they? Napoli. They've got the two. They've got Billy Gilbert.
Raiding. Raiding the Premier League.
The Italian
No,
job.
Garnacho, he's a player, but why he's young. Why would Man United want to get rid of him? Like he's scoring bicycle kicks from
Doesn't make sense, does it? Don't make sense.
You've got to keep him in around it and hope that he grows into the player that we all think he can be.
Yeah.
Why would you want to get rid of him?
Yeah, it's a strange one.
Unless Amarin don't see him in his style of play, which I doubt. I think he's a useful player.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that rumour. I think that's an agent.
Does he
I think
like
that's
it in
agent talk.
Manchester, Italy?
Listen, I know what I prefer to be. Sorry to like. Manchester's a lovely city, but
I love Manchester.
I
think
love
it's
Manchester,
great. I love
but
it.
you know,
But as a foreigner,
I prefer
might be
Milan
thinking,
or
I'd
Rome
rather be over there
or
than in Manchester.
Naples.
I love
Weather.
Manchester, mate.
You don't leave Manchester United, mate, for any team.
yeah.
For me, like you had a chance to play at Manchester United when you were younger, innit?
Yeah.
We're from here though.
Yeah.
You'd always want to go
Yeah.
Manchester. Yeah, I know,
I
but
don't
still,
know.
Manchester United is one of the biggest teams in the world. You
It
don't
still
leave
holds
Manchester
weight, doesn't
United.
it? It still holds weight around the world.
And that's why I'm a bit sorry for what they're going through, because that's my childhood. Like,
Colin,
whatever
don't
you-
be sorry for him.
Oh, see, I'm not sorry for United. They used to
I'm
win
a bit-
everything, so I'm
exactly,
buzzing
no.
that they ain't winning nothing.
I don't look at it like that. I look at a bit of nostalgia going back to what it used to be in the 90s and 90s.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like, although, everyone
I
knew.
hated
Like,
them winning everything.
you would hate them, but I don't mind. There's someone, you got to hate someone, inn't you? So they're decent to hate. You want them to be your...
I play for City, mate, so I'm blue.
It's blue.
You're blue, inn't you?
Yeah.
God, like you went over there, you had a stint over there. You went for a quick money grab, didn't you? As soon as the money came in, he was like, he
was
put his
not
hands
really
up.
my choice in the end, all right? Solari kind of said, go, mate. Give me the money.
That's brilliant.
Right. Big news in Saudi. We're going to go for Casemiro. Rumours. I mean, they're just...
It makes sense.
It makes sense, and they're bringing big players over there. Casemiro's a big player. It doesn't look like he's part of Amorim's plans.
He hasn't done himself any justice
No.
now.
That's enough money come. You chucked money at me a minute ago. Money comes into that deal massively.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's...
Yeah.
There was an interview I see ages ago about Jordan when he went.
Yeah.
And it's like, part of me's like, mate, I know, just say you've come for some money.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Money plays a massive factor.
Of course it does.
It does play a massive factor in
But
it.
listen, they're trying to...
Look at Ivan Toney.
Yeah. I mean, they're trying
Just say it. Just say it. Just say
it.
We have to be
Don't say,
honest.
oh,
We have to be
Say
honest.
it. I'm going for the football,
And
but I'm also going for money.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with
say it.
that.
I wanna
There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
They're
I'll-
trying to build, it's the Saudi league, right? They're trying to build something sustainable, yeah? So they've got to get the right players in for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not just going to chuck money at anybody.
No.
They're going to chuck money
At the right
It's going to
character.
help
right
the league
characters.
and help grow the league.
and help grow the league, get to the next
Yeah.
level. And it seems exciting. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's some proper world-class players out.
Yeah.
Ben Zimmer's out there. That's
Yeah.
one of my boys.
Yeah.
Like, I love him. I love
Yeah.
watching him play. And it's good to see that you got Neymar, Cristiano.
Big players.
Why wouldn't you want to go?
Yeah.
Like to be rubbing shoulders with playing against the likes of those
Yeah.
world-class players. So when I look at it, Casemiro fits that category
Yeah.
because he's a winner. He's been winning his whole life.
Yeah.
So he has to go into that. I think him being at Manchester United now, I think it's gone. I think he had his first season. First season he was unbelievable. He was. You couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
Second season we saw where he's at.
Yeah, yeah,
really, because his age is kicking on. Can't really dominate a game like how he used to.
In
This
the Premier
season it's been a bit part player. So now I think it is the time for him to look at that and think, do you know what? Let me go and revive myself again. Let me go and be
New
lauded by
challenge.
the new challenge.
Yeah.
And yes, the money does come into factor, and but that's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, of course
Don't
there's
look
not.
after
I'm not saying
yourself.
there is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. No, but
brilliant.
you need to be, you need to understand. You need to be honest, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
just to be honest, yeah.
yeah, and Cristiano Ronaldo nearing
Oh, yeah.
1,000 career goals. I'm like,
That's just mate, 1,000 career goals. Like
It's
that guy is a
madness,
machine,
really.
mate. Like it's like when you're young, yeah. When you're young and you had dreams of being a footballer, yeah. And you look at what was in front of you at that time. I think Cristiano Ronaldo, must have been young and thought, what was his dreams back then?
Yeah.
To be the best at football,
Yeah.
maybe. But to go on and achieve it,
Yeah.
and get 1,000 goals in professional football,
yeah.
like that is like not normal, is it?
Nah, well, I don't think he's not a normal footballer. He's not normal in the nicest way. He's not a normal human being because you talk to like in a nice way, like the way he dedicates himself. Like I think Rio said he was speaking to him the other day, and he was like he was just sat in an ice bath or something speaking to him. Do you know what I mean?
In
You're
an
like,
ice bath. I could
at
never
39, all the
never do
medals
that.
he's won, and he's still jumping in there. Horrible, wouldn't they?
Horrible,
That
man.
just
doing
goes, shall
that.
we talk about the money for him?
Yeah.
It's still
He's
playing
driven.
football and he's
driven.
driven
It's
to
not
be.
about money for him.
You've played
That's
against him
everything, yeah.
directly.
Yeah.
How
My
was
son
that?
brought this up with me yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, no,
what did
my
he
son
say?
didn't
What
batter
did he
me.
say? Did he batter you?
I lied. Might have lied a little bit. Had him in my pocket, didn't I?
That's what you said.
Kind of, no, not really. Well, yeah.
You got listen. You can't.
No,
be
do you know
coming
what it
out
was?
looking
I
like that
try
with
and
your
say in like because I'm not. It was early stages at Man United, so it's at the early part of his career, isn't it? So he was dangerous. He was a dangerous player. Fullbacks, you know, that he's always getting at you. It's another one of the things. Just saying, mentally switched on. I wouldn't say there was a game.
He was a winger back then.
Unless someone finds one that he schooled me the whole game and everything like that, or he gave me a real terrible time.
You're a good player.
You always had to stay switched on. He was quick, skillful, so you're constantly having to do it. And that, and people say, well, you always have to be constantly switched on anyway. I say, well, not
as much.
Not all football players are, because I think to myself sometimes in games I played in, there was one against Pompey which stood out for me. John Stones played. And do you know what? I hardly got a look in. And I remember Harry Redknapp after games said, well, Wayne didn't get a look in until John Stones come off. And I was
John
like...
Stones?
Yeah. The winger.
John Stones is
No, not John Stones.
Steve Stone.
No, who's the winger?
Steve Stone.
Yeah, Steve Stone. That's the one.
You done me.
That's the one.
I done Chris Martin earlier, man.
Yeah. That's his one's not as bad as
John
yours.
Stones.
Like, it's like-
You weren't playing.
like, you know what it was? You know what it was with him? He stuck with me all the time. When he went and he was just focused the whole game. He went off. I ended up scoring. Actually, you were there. That game.
I remember.
I ran up to the crowd and cheered their face because Pompey ate me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the same with Ronaldo. You just got to stay switched on the whole time. Don't get me wrong, he might have gone past me a couple of times, but he never gave me a torrid time.
See,
it
like
was tough.
Another one of your teammates, Ashley Cole.
Yeah.
Cristiano named him as, what did he name him? As one of his hardest opponents.
Oh, Ash was unbelievable at one-on-ones, wasn't he? He was just so good at one-on-ones. Even with Messi, Ash. He always just so good at one-on-ones.
He was, yes.
And do you know what, that reminds me of time when, sorry Ash, I don't know. It was England v Brazil. And this is how good Ash was. Ronaldinho was running at him.
Yeah.
And he done a few step overs, little shot, and Ash kind of stumbled on the floor, didn't he? The worst thing about that was Kieran Dyer, because he obviously knows how good Ash was, he just stood up and just started clapping.
Oh
my God. But you know, worst thing was, they scored as he was
remember.
clapping. So Kieran just sat down like this. Oh no.
When you love football, sometimes that's your like.
Yeah,
Oh my God, he's just done that to Ashley.
And Ashley's unbelievable.
Yeah. That's what, and he was the best. So, he's probably the best ever forward. It was, you know, Carlos, he's up there with the best ever, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then I'm down there somewhere.
Mate, but you played against the best.
That's what I mean. Ronaldo, he's unbelievable. Isn't he?
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, he's up there, isn't he? He's standing on the shoulder with all the giants: Pele, Maradona, Messi, Ronaldo. They're there. It's what you like.
He's arguing with Pele,
mate.
When Pele was alive, he was like, "No, I don't know how many of your goals should be registered. How many of your goals was actually registered? You could just make up a number." That's what his argument was, and it does make sense.
Yeah.
Right, he's actually done it in the limelight.
In the modern era.
In the modern era where it's being recorded.
Yeah, you know what?
Not just adding a few extra goals on here and there to make it
sometimes,
nice.
well, he's doing it in the Saudi league. I'm telling you, mate, that won't be easy.
Of course it won't.
That will not be easy one bit.
No.
People might think it is. It will not be.
There, Bridgie. There's some
I know.
proper players
It won't
there.
be easy
and it's growing all the time. So it might be, listen, I don't know how many goals he's off it, but it's going to be if he does do it, you've got to take your hat off to him.
Oh, 100%.
You have to.
Listen, he's a phenomenal player with
player, athlete, everything.
Just his mindset alone. Like we were talking about the mental side of things last week.
Yeah.
And
great for him to talk to Rashford.
Yes.
It'd be great.
They was playing together. How can Marcus not
take some of that?
Not look at him.
Yeah.
Listen, I played when I come through. I'd Neil Ruddock to look at, and I love Razor. He was a great man, but
he was.
I never had no one like Ronaldo. Imagine you had someone like Ronaldo coming in, who was like, you're just like living right, doing everything right. This is how you do it. Putting your arm.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I had that with Zola.
Yeah.
So when I kept going to the first team, Zola, like he said, listen, every day after training, do your extras, and then get in the gym.
Yeah.
And at Chelsea, we wasn't brought up in the gym. Actually, we done a bit of gym here and there. We had our days, but we just used to.
So you didn't listen?
No. I did after he told me because I didn't have it as a thing to do.
Yeah.
Because no one ever told me that. like to do the extras in the gym
Recovery,
as well.
massage,
So he used to call me
right.
in the gym and he used to go, listen, we'll do this work here today. So I used to, look, I used to come in as well.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is what it is to be a professional like him.
I think
and
it's
then
great when you see an older professional do that.
He was
mate, and
he
you
was
do it
eating
enjoying it.
clean.
It's brilliant.
Like even his food, we go upstairs, I see what he's eating. He's just got a little pasta, a little parmesan on the side. I'm there getting all sorts, the
Stopping
potatoes.
off for the KFC.
Yeah, I'm doing all sorts, yeah.
Another plate.
I'd have that meal, then I'll have a KFC or a McDonald's on the way home as well. Like,
tell
doing
you-
everything in my way. Do you know what I mean? My way is not great. But when I saw Zola, having that person to look towards and think, that's what I want to be like. I know I was never going to be like Zola, obviously. We're different players, but he did help me on my journey and just retract my mind.
Yeah.
And that's what someone like Rashford needs.
He needs it, man.
Like, he could
He's
be a
got
player,
to accept
man.
that as well, though, Rash. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You got to accept the
tell
help.
someone, and
You gotta accept the
sometimes
help.
they won't.
Yeah, you gotta
They
accept
won't listen. Bellamy was great at doing that with some of the kids at Man City. He was brilliant. At that. Bellamy.
Oh,
Bellamy.
Craig,
Yeah,
Craig.
he was great at helping the kids and giving them information. But you could tell the ones.
You weren't good with me, man. He's the batter me on the pitch.
I know.
He's battering
I've
me.
seen him batter people. He can ruin some people.
I was like,
I've
fellas.
also seen him help kids, but then you can
Yeah.
see the kids that aren't listening,
Yeah.
and you can tell the ones that are taking information on board. So it's on Rashford as well to take the information.
Taking the
If it's
information,
given to
accept the information,
Yeah.
accept it. Because look, see, like when let's go back onto Bella's.
Oh, you did. There's some mad. stories
Actually,
about Bellamy.
actually, he's actually helped my career. Although he was battering me, but I think he knows who
You
to
wanted a
batter.
reaction.
Yeah.
There'll be time I'll be on the pitch, and I've just had the baggiest touch ever. Right, the ball's come into me and it's gone boing, yeah, and he's gone. Coley, are you alright?
That's the worst thing.
that alone, yeah, it's like he's just gone. He's come for your mum. He's come for your whole family. When you say that to a footballer, and you know you've just done something really rubbish, yeah, and then he's saying on top of that, "Holy!"
I can
That
just
just
picture
killed
him
it.
saying it, mate.
And the thing about it, if you don't face that, you need to face it, and you say, "Do you know what? I accept it.
mate.
I won't do it again." He goes, "You better not." I'm telling the gaffer, you're getting off. I can't play with this.
Mate,
Anyway, so he battered me so much, right, that I had to be good.
Yeah.
I was scared of hearing his comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I got better. And then I was like, you know what, I'll take on the task.
Yeah.
And then I got better. And then he come in. So I got the first time I got called up for England, right?
Yeah.
I've walked into the dressing room, the physio room. And he was there getting his massage.
Yeah.
He's reading the paper like that.
Yeah.
And he's seen me walk in and he's gone, he's turned the paper around. It's my face. There's a Carlton called up for England, right? And he goes, "Are you sure? You're not good enough for them. You're not even good enough for us." And I've gone, I swear down. And I've got, because I didn't even know I'd be called up. That's how I got told.
That's how you got told.
He's like,
That's a
"Are you
bell,
sure?"
innit? That's brilliant.
And then he's like, "Are you sure?" He says, "Do you know what? I've made you." Yeah. He says, "I've made it. If it weren't for me doing all your running, yeah, you would be nowhere near it. I've made you look good." Oh, mate, it's brilliant, man. Like, Bellas is a great guy, great character. And if you're not strong enough for some of these characters in the game to take it on the chin and prove them wrong or up your game, you could just get sucked in to being rubbish for the rest of that game. Do you know what I mean? And it will affect your confidence going forward. But you've got to have a bit about yourself to answer questions like that.
You do.
Thanks for watching The Dressing Room. Been a pleasure, lads. We'll go again next week.
We go again.